Hey, what's with all the toys? The what? The toys. The toys. The toys. 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 Why are you using this, instead of this, or this? I guess I just like them. Hello friends, and welcome back to the Matt Greer Music channel. So if you watch my channel or have for a while, you'll notice that I have an affinity for budget-friendly gear, things that are small, cheap, portable, usually battery powered, and I make a lot of content with that kind of stuff. I'm talking pocket operators, volcas, Sonicware Live-In boxes, things like that. And you might wonder why I tend to feature more of those kinds of devices when I have premium, more expensive instruments in this studio. So I thought it might be kind of fun to explore that, look at the pluses and the minuses of budget-friendly gear, and kind of answer those questions in my own terms of why I use them. So, number one, the short answer is I don't only use that kind of stuff. I use everything that's in my studio. It's just for YouTube, I tend to feature jams more than complete compositions. I tend to do things in single takes, kind of to demonstrate what you can get away with on a single device or just a few devices put together to make a jam or a track, to hopefully kind of inspire and just sort of share what's capable with these sorts of machines. That being said, I do a lot of recording where I use all this stuff, and usually that process is multiple tracks and layering, and I'm pulling out lots of guitar pedals, and I'm doing lots of sound design and mixing and editing. I don't necessarily film that. That's work that I do kind of heads down. I don't really want the distraction of trying to film and edit it at the same time. I'm really focused on just making music for my albums. Now some albums I have are kind of compilations of beat tapes and things that I made on little gizmos, but I also have albums with, you know, guitars and vocals and all kinds of processing and things that take me years, frankly, to get through. And so for those, I use everything. But for YouTube, I just find it, you know, a little easier to just grab a couple things and do a jam. So that brings me to number two, ease of use. I find that doing complete compositions on a pretty simple focused device is a lot easier than trying to think about everything that I have around me or trying to integrate all this stuff with MIDI and mixers and routing all the audio and all that stuff. I find it a lot easier to just grab something, set it on a table, put some headphones in, and make a track. So that is often why that's what you see on this channel, is because it's the result of a focused effort to make something specifically on that. And budget friendly and cheap and battery powered gear is just so simple and easy to pick up usually. So I think that's why it ends up getting featured a lot, is because it's really it's quite easy to work with and make tracks. So that's why you see that quite a bit. So that kind of brings me to number three, which is the challenge of it. So I didn't always have this studio. I'm very blessed now to have this kind of equipment to work with. But when I was starting out, and for many years, I was scraping by on very minimal equipment. I had this dinosaur of a computer that was barely limping by, running a few audio wares. I had basically a Yamaha keyboard with speakers in it that you would buy like at a retail store like Walmart or Best Buy. And I'd record little sounds of that, and I'd push those sounds through some effects to try to mangle them and make them more interesting. And then I'd bounce it into a DAW or Fruity Loops or whatever. And I worked like that for like 15 years, just using whatever I had. I had like a cheap mic that cost me like $20 and an acoustic guitar that a friend of mine gave me, and I just got by. So I don't really feel like I have to have expensive, fancy stuff to make music. I've done the opposite of that for a long time. So when people like dismiss these cheap and budget-friendly items as toys, I kind of laugh, because I'm like, I mean, try it, you know, see what you can do. So a lot of times when I'm featuring these things, I'm trying to say, like, look, you actually can make whole tracks on these things. You don't have to have a $10,000 Moog Poly to make good music. No, I'm not dissing on any of that. I'd love to have one of those, but there's two sides to every coin, right? And I try to show that you don't need to be rich to make good electronic music. So that's kind of the third reason why I gravitate towards these things. But if you are interested in getting into electronic music production and you are on a budget, or you're not sure how far you want to take it, absolutely I would recommend trying a budget thing like a pocket operator, a Korg Volca, the Sonicware Live in series, Novation circuits. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there now that is easily accessible and will usually offer more than a single function, and will allow you to make music that you're probably going to end up being proud of without breaking the bank. So yeah, that's my thoughts on using toys. Oh, one other thing I'll mention before I go. The by far and away most played song that I have on Spotify, which I'm not trying to get into the political nature of Spotify, but the most played song that I've ever put on there, I mean like a lot, was made on a pocket operator. Was made on a PO33KO. And I don't know why necessarily. I haven't really researched how it got so many more plays than everything else. I think probably gone on a pretty popular playlist or something. But yeah, so my $99 sampler has made me way more than $99 in returns on a single song. So it can be done. It can be done. Where there's a will, there's a way. And don't let pretentious elitists tell you that you can't make good music on budget-friendly stuff. All right, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a great day and happy music making, friends. See ya.